On January 8, 1815, a ragtag group of 4,500 Americans squared off against 8,000 soldiers from the greatest superpower in the world in a pitched battle. The British squared off with an American force led by future President Andrew Jackson, composed of pirates, Choctaw tribesmen, free African Americans, New Orleans businessmen, Kentucky, Tennessee, and Louisiana militias, U.S. Navy sailors, the U.S. Army 7th Infantry, and 58 United States Marines. These early Americans had faced trials and tragedies in their lives, living on what was then the American frontier. From the threat of wild animals to surviving the elements and disease, struggle was part of their daily lives. But those hardships are also what prepared them for the most powerful foe they had ever faced. And when the time came, they dealt the British what may have been their most lopsided defeat in history. In 30 minutes, 2,000 British soldiers were dead, with less than 100 American casualties. Despite having a numerically superior force, better weapons and equipment, and a corps of seasoned combat veterans, the British had been defeated by the most unlikely of armies, composed of the least likely of soldiers. These brave patriot defenders drew courage from the challenges of their everyday lives to overcome the greatest challenge of their lifetime. Since the Battle of New Orleans, Americans and Marines from every walk of life and every community in our nation have faced challenges not unlike those that you're facing today. From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, from Iwo Jima to Way City, from Iraq to Afghanistan, Marines, Americans have risen to the occasion in every clime and place to stare death and adversity in the face and overcome. And while the Marines' tough training has something to do with that, the heart and the courage, the determination and teamwork is derived from their families, their friends, their teachers, their coaches, and their teammates. It wasn't the easy days or the easy practices or the easy games that prepared them to be Marines and fight for their country. It was the terrible times, the grueling practices, and the heartbreaking games that ingrained in them that American spirit to always fight and always win. Are you going to let COVID-19 beat you? Are you going to let this virus break your spirit? Or are you going to use this to prepare for the next battle, the next challenge, the next foe? Now is the time to prepare, to train, to overcome. Use this. Don't let it use you. Get creative, Marines, and get training. Semper Fidelis.